You don't always have to be sharing news and announcements. Like you can share your experience, you can share tips, especially with founders. Having gone through the hoops of creating a business, they have a lot of knowledge. So even just sharing their knowledge, even if it's not directly connected to what their startup offers, they're building their reputation as founders, as a person who is knowledgeable in creating a business, and that's only going to help them. So I'm not saying just create content for the sake of creating content. You definitely need to have something interesting to say, but it doesn't necessarily have to be news. You don't have to be saying that you've launched a new product every 2 days. It's not realistic. For the clients, what's important is to have the visibility that they want to have in each country. So they might notice that maybe the Philippines, for example, there's a tendency in the Philippines to take more ideas from a certain client. So maybe they could look at that and say, okay, so maybe it's a good market for us because there's obviously a lot of interest. But apart from that, once they sign up and they say, look, we want to target the Philippines, Singapore, and Indonesia, they're expecting to be featured in publications from all of those three countries. So I don't know if there's a lot that would surprise them unless the interview or the opportunity is about something completely different. Like I haven't seen any client being surprised about being featured like they expected. So we have to deliver that. That's what they want. I've seen content be localized to different countries and then get featured in different countries. I think that was very effective because it met all of the goals that we had. The client specifically wanted to be featured in that market, but the content we had was the same. We really had to work around it to make sure that we met the goals. That was very effective in that way. I suppose as well, sometimes when you have a really big announcement like a funding round or something, and you manage to negotiate an exclusive with a top tier publication, because they always want a top tier publication, and just hold off on issuing that press release to a lot of journalists because sometimes quality overrides volume, right? So offering an exclusive announcement to a top tier publication that is a part of the client's goals is a very effective thing to do. Often when an announcement is taken on an exclusive basis, you have to assume that it's a really big deal. Like it's like millions of dollars or euro or whatever in an agreement, and that's why it was given as an exclusive. It usually gets then, once it gets published by the top tier, it gets picked up by sometimes hundreds of other publications. So you've met the quality goal and the volume goal there just with just one press release, just because you negotiated an exclusive with a publication that made sense for the client.